Welcome in for another Mavs Minute here with Sports Radio 810. I'm Todd Leabo, and with the KC Mavericks, we have defenseman Greg Moro with us. First of all, how you doing, Greg?
Doing great, thanks.
We're not quite winter time yet in Kansas City, but you're from way up in Canada, in Edmonton, so it's been like super hot here for you, right?
Yeah, it feels like summer. I just broke out the pants there this week, actually. So.
See, you didn't even need to have anything different for you. Let's talk a little bit about your journey. I think people in America don't quite understand like youth hockey and all that stuff, but you were part of a youth hockey organization where you moved away from home when you were a kid. I mean, tell me your path to kind of get to where you are now.
I didn't move away from home until I was about 17, but before that, yeah, we played youth hockey just in my zone in the city. So in Edmonton, you got your different clubs from around the city. Everyone kind of plays each other. And then when I ended up getting to juniors, so when I was 17 years old, I ended up moving out to Humboldt, Saskatchewan, so even colder than Edmonton, if you can imagine. And then after that, I ended up in Lloydminster, which is kind of on the border between the two provinces, and then off to, from there I went to college in upstate New York for the last 4 years.
So juniors hockey, I hear people say this, like we play juniors hockey in Canada or whatever. What's that entail? Like you go live with a host family? How do you operate as a 17-year-old kid as part of junior hockey? Because you did it for a few years, right?
Yeah, I did it for 3 years. So essentially, yeah, you live with a host family, or as we like to call them, billet families, and essentially they take you in as one of their own.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up living with them. They cook you meals, or they make you fend for yourselves. It kind of depends on who you get, but mine were really good in both cities, and I'm still in touch with them to this day.
That's very cool. Now, you went to college, as you said, at Clarkson University. What was the level of competition change when you go from juniors hockey to college hockey in America?
It's the same kind of with going from each level growing up the whole way up. You get guys that are bigger, faster, stronger, and a little more skilled and can think the game a little better. So it's taking that next step.
And what do you like so far about ECHL hockey and being here with Kansas City? You were here briefly last year. What do you like about the talent level of this league and the competition you're facing?
I find there's a little more time and space, especially coming from college hockey, and in the ECAC, guys like to run and gun, so you didn't have much time to think out there. Here you got a little more skill, so guys can make plays. You guys got to respect that. I find it gives a little more time and space. You're not getting ran through the wall every 2 seconds, but honestly, I like the city so far. I've had a lot of fun. I actually got to see my first Chiefs game, or first NFL game in general, so that was a pretty neat experience. You don't get to see that, especially up in Canada. All we got is the CFL. And then, obviously, we got a great group of guys here right now, and we're all living in the same building, so you kind of get it's like a little close-knit family.
Now,
nice.
You're hockey, right? That's your life. You're a professional hockey player. But when you were growing up, what other kind of interests and hobbies did you have up there in Canada?
I pretty much played every sport imaginable growing up, except football. I never got to play football competitively, which I regret. But I mean, I played basketball, volleyball, lacrosse, tennis, like you name it.
Is there baseball up there in Edmonton?
Yeah, I actually played. It ended up being between baseball and hockey. It was my final pick, but hockey won out.
They won out. Now, how about outdoor stuff? I mean, when I think of, I got friends who've gone up in that area, fishing and stuff like that on some of the lakes up there. Moose hunting, elk hunting, things like that. Are you an outdoorsman at all?
Did a lot of fishing, not so much in Alberta. Lakes aren't great there, but we'd make our way over to northern Ontario there. I got a lot of family from there, so we'd spend some times kind of near Minnesota Duluth there, that Thunder Bay area. Right. A lot of fishing there, a lot of walleye, pickerel, you name it. And then other than that, it was more outdoor sports, skiing, snowboarding.
Now, there's outdoor hockey too up there, right? People just got outdoor rinks.
Yep,
Did you do a lot of outdoor hockey when you were a kid?
That's where I started, the backyard rink. My dad would be out there spending a pile of money flooding the backyard with the garden hose.
So how does that actually operate? I mean, do you just, what do they lay down? They just flood. You didn't have your own Zamboni, did you?
No, we
how do you
made.
Smooth the ice
it's a process, but essentially you just start by freezing the grass and then building up a layer, and you kind of go from there. We'd have these little leftover fences we'd tear apart, make little boards around the rink.
Really?
And then you get the big, these lawn, if you ever lay sod, they have these big drums, and you just tie a wet rag to the end, and you pretty much, it's like a little homemade Zamboni, rolling it across the ice. Yeah.
You had to do all that work, though? Or was Dad doing that, too?
I would do some of that. Dad didn't trust us with leveling out the ice, so he would be out there building the rink. And
so how many, neighborhood kids do that in their backyards up there?
In our neighborhood, I think we were the only ones in our little block. There was a few throughout the neighborhood, but most of the people ended up at our house. But we also had
Start charging admission. See,
yeah,
ice time, man. It's at a premium. Could have made some money on that.
could have, but we also had right down the rink, or right down the block, was an outdoor rink. So they had a full NHL-sized rink that would get flooded. And actually, now they're probably opening this week.
Probably
next couple
so.
weeks.
Well,
yeah.
it's cold, man.
Yeah.
It's cold. Hey, thanks a lot. I hope you enjoy the rest of your time here in Kansas City. What are your goals for this year, and where would you like to see yourself in a couple of years in hockey?
Personally, goals. I mean, I want to play in the NHL one day. That's the ultimate dream. And then team goals. I want to win a championship here in Kansas City as long as I'm here. So
Excellent.
that's my
Excellent.
goal.
Well, thanks for stopping by, saying hello to us. Enjoy your time in Kansas City. We'll get you out to another Chiefs game. And maybe get some indoor stuff, too. They got basketball around here, too. You can do some of that stuff. It's always fun indoors.
I brought my basketball shoes.
Exactly. He's ready to go. He's 6'4". He can go play basketball. Greg Moro from the Kansas City Mavericks. You want tickets for any of the games coming up, it's kcmavericks.com.